At the end of the day, it was a scheme that David came up with so that TMZ could come to us with the bullshit. That's pretty much what I've gotten after this first episode. Ain't that his name, David, right? David is full of shit. I really didn't keep up. I had seen the headlines of what was going on. I seen, like last month or the month before that she tried to kill herself. And then I seen, that allegedly that it might have been because of her boyfriend, but then she came out and said that no, she was glad that he was there to help save her. But now we get a couple days ago that he has put a restraining order out on her and is claiming domestic violence. And I listened to his video where he tried to explain what happened in the car, but I'm confused about a few things, sir. Number one, you say you was discombobulated or whatever when she hit you, but you was able to call your mom. That's very confusing. You also fake cried, tried to act like you was about to cry. That did not faze me. A lot of what you said just didn't make any sense. And specifically, you said that you were taking Tamar to a mental facility. So wouldn't that mean that clearly right now she's probably really, 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 really irrational? I'm not here for you, sir. And this first episode pretty much confirmed a lot of what I thought already. So I'm not gonna say I love Tamar. I like Tamar a lot. Specifically, I like her music. My mama actually was the one who pretty much put me on to the Braxtons, like the show when it first started, because she was like, you don't know who Tamar is? I'm like, no. And she's like, oh my gosh, she do the extra most and da da da. And the only reason my mom say that is because my mom is like the whitest ghettoest person I've ever met, because she can be really, really white at times, but she can get really, really ghetto too. And that's what Tamar is. Tamar's very, very ghetto. She's very over the top. She's very drag queenish, period. But whatever. Got into the show, liked the show. Didn't like her attitude, but I did like the show. Her music, the first album, Love and War, I got that album. Very, 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 very good. Everybody knows, like, if you had that album, like that, if that first album it's really, really good. Second album, I think it's Calling All Lovers. Cause yeah. Cause that's from Angels and Demons. Love that album. Love that album. What's my favorite song off of that album? Oh, is it Catfish? I can't think of it right now, but there's a song off of there. One in particular song that's an album cut that it goes the fuck off. Oh man, I wish I would have Googled it. But regardless, I'm saying all that to say. And then her last album that she just did recently, I think was Lovebird or whatever. And that one got my man. Love singing that song in the shower. That's a fun time. But all of that to say, I do like Tamar. But I know she has been through a lot the past couple of years. And I have always felt like when it comes to Tamar, people have a hard time feeling bad for her because of the way that she treated her sisters and some of the things that she said and did throughout the years. So now a lot of people, let's just be real, a lot of people feel like, I don't want to say it's karma, but like, look at you, like you sat at a table and pretty much called out all of your sisters' husbands and went off about how they ain't this, that, and third. Like, your husband this, and your husband that, and your husband that, and your husband this. And then look at what ended up happening to you with your husband. Not to say that it's right, but that kind of makes it hard for people to feel bad for you. However, I've always felt like at the end of the day, a lot of this comes from how you were raised. And I don't know, I always, like, I'm the type of person who, I never just look at somebody like how they act like on the surface. I always like look into see like, why is it that they act that way? Not to make an excuse, but if y'all watch the Iyanla Braxton family episode, Miss Evelyn is Tamar. Tamar is Miss Evelyn through and through. They're the exact same person. Like, you would never really be able to tell like a lot of people say, that clearly like Miss Evelyn was like very like bitter, because of her husband, rightfully so, but she was just bitter for way too long, in my opinion, and a whole lot of other people's opinion. All of that to say, I've always looked at Tamar as she's the youngest. I've always looked at it as like her acting out is she wants attention. And I'm pretty sure most people probably can see it that way. Not to excuse her, but I've always just looked at it like she likes attention, and for whatever reason, she don't feel like she's being heard or she has been heard. That's why she acts out so much. In her, you know, with Vince, um, you know, I believe everything that she said when it comes to Vince. Let's get into the show because I've talked enough about like what I think about her past. But anyway, we get into the show. She goes to go see. Well, she talks about why she wants to do the show. Pretty much saying how she wants to speak her truth. She wants to show what it is that she's going through. And so I think they're gonna film for like 6 weeks. They're gonna shoot a lot, and she's also gonna work on her new album. Now with everything going on, I really don't know how that's gonna happen. But when she said she was gonna like be recording her new album, I was really excited. Again, like I said, I had all three of those albums. So again, I'm very interested. Everybody know that Tamar can sing down. Sing down, okay? So yeah, so she goes to go see Mona Scott, Young Productions, okay? Mona, your building is nice. It's cute. It's cute. She sits up there and they pretty much talk about, how they're gonna do this show, and Mona's pretty much just telling Tamar like, don't run away. Because Tamar has a really bad habit of doing that when stuff get a little bit too hard. If you having problems, if you having trouble, call me. Call me. Okay. Call me now. Call me now. Please call me. Okay. And I think a lot of that has to do with pretty much like, girl, it's a lot of shit that's going on behind this. Know what's riding on this shit, so don't just run or walk away from this whole situation. So then I believe we switch over and we go to her house, and this is the first time we see David, and it's David and Logan. Logan looked just like Vince. It's pretty fucking scary, to be quite honest. He looks just like Vince. So she's talking to Lil Logan, telling him to go to bed, and then like I said, we meet David, and David says how he's in finance and how he doesn't want to be on TV, but he's on TV because he loves her. Now, Color Me Pink, shout out to Keisha, pointed something out that I'm so glad she noticed, because I noticed it too. She said, I know that nigga was lying because he didn't even look into the camera when he said that. And she's not lying. When he said that, this nigga was looking. And I'm sitting here looking like, who? Am I missing something? Was he supposed to be looking into camera A, but he was, into camera B, but he was looking into camera A? I'm so confused. That's how you know. Full of shit already, okay? But anyway, he says that. Then, they go outside, have their little Taco Tuesday. Then we get over. She goes to the studio. She goes to meet up with Jay White. Jay White is a producer. He has had two diamond, count that, two diamond singles with Cardi. I looked it up. He did Bodak Yellow and he did I Like It, which is literally Cardi's biggest song. So shout out to him. Clearly he has that touch, okay? He's good at sampling. He's really good at sampling, clearly, because both of those are samples like that are kind of flipped. Bodak Yellow is not really a sample, but it's kind of copying off of Kodak Black, fucking. But anyway, so she goes in there. She has her little. Oh, I forgot. What is sis name? What is sis name? Glenda the Good Witch. Let's call her Glenda the Good Witch until I remember what her name is. But Glenda the Good Witch comes along, and Glenda the Good Witch is pretty much like her life coach and is here to help her, I don't know, with her life, I guess, and help interpret dreams and all of this other stuff. We'll get there. And so they go to the studio, whatever. And, so Tamar said that this would pretty much be the first time that she's making music on her own, because previous to this, for all of her other albums, Vince literally picked every single freaking song, all the way down to everything. He did everything. She wasn't allowed to work with nobody outside of who she normally works with. Rest in peace to LaShawn Daniels. I literally know who LaShawn Daniels is because of this show, like because of her show with Vince and stuff, and I know like that they work together a lot, and I think he's the one who actually wrote like and produced Love and Love and War Love and War. I believe so. I'm not sure, but regardless, LaShawn Daniels, may he rest in peace, icon, just amazing, has worked with everybody, but so it would kind of be like her first time working outside of people that she's normally working with. She's doing this all independent. This is all her money. And I think it said he was only going to be in town for like 2 days or something like that. He was coming into town to 2 days to help work with her. Now, again, she was like, well, do you have any lyrics? Do you have anything? And he was like, well, no, I thought we was going to do this from scratch. And she talks about, pretty much how she's really nervous, singing in front of other people. And that really does not shock me because I hear a lot of performers say that they are actually very, 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 very nervous. My sister sings and she like it terrifies her to sing in front of other people. She does, but it terrifies her. Like she's really, really, really shy. So am I when it comes to singing. Like only time you'll hear me singing is if I'm reacting to something and I'm just singing along. But outside of that, you ain't gonna hear me sing. Absolutely not. Somebody been trying to get me to come to the studio for a while. Absolutely not. I ain't got time. Too scared. But and also I can tell that she gets really, really shy because people say all the time that when Tamar sings live, she's like very like, oh, my mind. Like she's very animated with her face, but I think that is like I think that's a nervousness type of thing. I think she's like overacting because she's really, really nervous. Makes sense to me. But yeah, so they talk about that, and he pretty much says that if they do it right, this album could be everything. And I really sat there and I thought about it. I'm like, bruh, he's not lying. If you really dig deep, Tamar, and do what you're supposed to do, this album could be serious. Like it could cause Tamar do that. She do it from the here type of singing, and them runs and her highs are just as good as her low. It could be everything. It really could be everything. Especially if it could be like extremely cohesive and tell a story top to bottom, like child. But I don't know how that's gonna work with everything going on. But anyway, so they talk about that. So she ends up leaving. I think it's the next day. I'm all going off of memory, y'all. The next day. Sorry, before we get there, I don't know where this fits in or where this happened, but regardless, I'm gonna talk about it. So when she was talking to Glenda the Good Witch, Glenda the Good Witch told her that she would like have to abstain from like sex, drugs, like alcohol, like for like I think like 45 days or something like that, kind of like while she's cleansing herself. And so she went and she told David that. And David's gonna say, well, first of all, as a born again Christian, I don't even like what it is that she's doing. Okay, pause. Right? Let's hold that right there, right? He's a born again Christian. So he doesn't feel comfortable with the way that Clinda the Good Witch works, right? But Tamar tells him that, she has to pretty much abstain from sex for the next 45 days. And this nigga tends to go the fuck off. Not go the fuck off, but he pretty much goes like, well, like, that's not going to work for me. Like, that's not going to work for me. So pause. Let's rewind. You're a born again Christian. Right? But you're saying that you're not going to have not having sex. Last I checked, y'all two ain't married. Y'all two wasn't married. Y'all two wasn't married. I digress. 0.23, that right there was enough for me, right? But then he says, well, she says to him, well, this is very important to me. And he says, well, on a like scale of 1 to 10, how important? She says in 100. And he says, well, for me, sex is 102. That's all I need. I don't need nothing else. That says everything that I need right there. If you can't keep your penis to yourself for 45 days while you know what I'm going through mentally and I'm trying to get myself together, then what are you really here for? The clout. The clout. To say that he was with Tamar. To be messy. Anyway, so whatever. Then we get to what is that guy's name again? Jay, he gets the producer and stuff. They decide that they're gonna make the studio in her house. but she is like really, 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 really hoarse that day. So him and her kind of have like a little bit of contention, you know, because she's not feeling well and he's still trying to tell her to sing, which, you want to know what? Let me say this. Bitch. That bitch was so hoarse and she still sounded better than 98% of you whores on your best day. Just fucking saying. When they ran that shit back and I heard it, I said, bitch, that bitch. And now I know that they layered it with like, I think the probably like the reference track underneath it and a little itty bit of auto tune. But girl, y'all be using all the auto tune and still don't sound that good. Bye, 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 bye. But you know, when she listened back, she didn't like it. And you know, then David called and she just said that she pretty much felt like, you know, clearly like I'm hoarse and it felt like nobody cared. Now the producer was trying to say that she needs to just push through it. Now at the time I was like, well, damn nigga, like listen to her, like how she gonna push through that? But I did have to think about it. People, singers do have to push through when they're sick. They really do. And I didn't think about this until later, is the fact that on the screen it said that he was only supposed to, that he was in town for 2 days. For 2 days. So if she's paying out of pocket for him to be there, let's just say, then that last day, that's why to me, and I think the reason why I think that's right is because later on, like when she was there, she said to the to Glenda, the good witch, that she felt like, she was like, well, this was a waste of time. And I think the reason she said that is because of the fact that he was only going to be there for 2 days. So the first day was the day that they met in the studio, and then today was today, you know, was I think the second day. So it's like all of this was a waste, me paying for him to come out here because now I can't sing. That's how I took it. I believe it said he was supposed to be out there for 2 days. I believe that. And then I was like, okay, well, that's why he probably was pushing her so hard. Like, well, we got to try to get something done while I'm here. But anyway, she's talking to Glenda Goodwitch, and Glenda Goodwitch pretty much says to her, look, girl, I see some themes going on, and one of the themes is that your family, like, yes, you got your own internal family, which is you, David, and Logan, and your few friends, but what about your outside bubble, which is like your sisters? And she didn't say this, but even to a degree, Vince, because you still have to kind of deal with Vince to a degree because you have Logan. So it was like little shit like that. And she's like, you have to kind of clean that up, you know, for you to feel whole. And I gonna tell you a word. I'm not gonna put all my business out there, but I'm gonna say this. There was somebody in my family that I did not, I'm talking about close, like very, very close in my family to me, that I did not speak to for years. I'm talking about years because of something that they did to me, like to hurt me, and like to hurt my feelings is what I'm trying to say. And that shit fucked with me. Like it fucked with me. It didn't bother me like on an everyday thing, but I seen it permeating, is that a word? Whatever, in other places in my life and stuff. And I would get certain dreams, and I had to go, and after sitting down and talking to my actual therapist, not a life coach, a licensed therapist, okay, psychologist, black woman, she helped me see how I had to at least bring closure to that for everything else in my life to flourish. And once I put closure to that, child, the weight off. The way everything else is flourishing, amazing. So she definitely needs to get whatever's going on with her sister, she needs to get that corrected. She really do. She needs to get that corrected. Um, I don't know exactly what happened with her and the sisters. I know it's like continued stuff, but I'm gonna be honest. So I'm the oldest, right? I'm the oldest out of all of my siblings. Now I'm definitely one to say that just because somebody's family, that doesn't mean that they can just do whatever the hell it is that they want to do to you. However, as a older sibling, if I see my youngest sibling, and I'm not saying that she has to, I'm saying what I would do, if I seen that my youngest sibling was struggling the way that Tamar is struggling, like when it's clearly something mental that's going on, whatever it is that I have going on, I would have to put that to the side for me to help them get through whatever it is that they're getting through. And maybe that is the case with Tony and them, and we just really don't know. But in this episode, where she was currently at that point in time, it does not seem like that's where she was with them. And, you know, maybe they just feel like, well, this is not my place. I need to step out. But I'm saying if it was me being the oldest, I couldn't, no, I couldn't sit up here and deal with and like sit up here and be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna be stuck in my ways because she hurt my feelings because she said this about me or she made me mad, when I see that she's mentally going through something. Like, it don't even have anything to do with me in per se. She mentally has something going on. Again, that's not to put the onus on Tony. I'm saying that's what I personally would do. But anyway, so she talked about that with Glinda the Good Witch and some other stuff. Boom, got that out the way. So then at the end of the night, she tells production pretty much that she's not going to keep filming because she doesn't feel well, blah, 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 blah. That's not really important. Does that. I'm sorry, I'm literally like fast forward and like a remote in my mind with everything that happened. And so then we have pretty much the last scene, which is she calls Glinda the Good Witch over because of a dream that she had. And pretty much her dream was that she was with Tyler Perry and she at an event she ended up realizing in her dream like that's her boyfriend. She seen somebody like out like in like the woods or whatever, like in the field or whatever, and she thought that it was a girl that he was talking to. So she was like, she started going off like you ain't gonna like the old Tamar would do. Which I also want to point out that the way that she deals with David is not how she deals with Vince. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like she's way more like even kill, way more like logical, and I appreciate that. I hope it's not like a submissive type of thing, like I have to, like I feel like I need to be quiet, but I hope it's like a grown up type of thing. Anyway, yeah. So how she seen the girl, she start going off, da 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 da, and then you know, but Tyler Perry's like, no, that's not who she is, and she was like, I think she was an interior designer. She never said it, but that's what I thought. Think about it, interior design. I never thought about that. But interior, inner work, right? Okay. And then she said they get into a car, but then they start sliding, and then the car end up crashing. Again, shout out to Keisha from Color Me Pink because she said that she felt like in a weird way, like that's foreshadowing what happened with her and David being in that car and them getting into it. I never thought about that. Keisha, you blew my mind with that one. You blew my mind with that one. But I kind of looked at it like Tyler Perry is like a powerful man, and and it's, I don't know, like I feel like it has a little bit to do with her attraction to power. I also feel like it has to do with how she wants to be in control of everything, maybe how she gets off on trying to control somebody who she feels is more powerful than she is. I feel like it's just a little bit of everything. But anyway, she sat there with Glinda Good Witch, and Glinda Good Witch told her to close her eyes and just kind of walk through that dream, you know, and she started to, and she kind of came to the conclusion like the woman that was standing out there was an angel, and Tyler pretty much was there to say that he's there to help me. And because I was too busy running my mouth going off, I didn't even hear anything that he was saying. And I didn't see that the angel was there to protect me from pretty much sliding down that hill and crashing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that is very powerful. And she was really, really moved by that. You know, she went into the bathroom, cried, fuck the producer, because when they went over there, Glenda the Good Witch was like, look, like she just needs like 5 minutes. Okay, well, she's having a revelation and we have to film this. You got what you needed. You can't get a girl 2-3 minutes. The girl is literally having a moment. Like, and that part I do believe. A lot of people try to say that like Tamar fixed a lot of things, and I do think in the past that she has, but I think this in particular really was real for her. And so, you know, she goes out and comes out of the bathroom and pretty much says to production like, look, I done gave y'all more than enough, but this right here, like, this is not for y'all. And I agree, it wasn't for y'all. Get y'all shit, leave. So yeah, that's where I'm at. The first episode, it was good. It was cute for what it was. I don't trust David. I guess we'll see more about how much I don't trust him. Y'all get in the comments. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think about David. Tell me if y'all think he full of shit. Tell me if you do have any of Tamar's albums, which one is your favorite? What's your favorite Tamar song? And tell me if you guys know anymore, what is the problem between her and the rest of the sisters? If anybody could tell me, like in the comments, like, what's the contention? Somebody tell me. All right, y'all, I'm out. Bye.